Okay, now we're ready to move to softening. So we've dealt with most of the blemishes, not entirely, but most of them. And now we're ready to move to blemishes. Now we don't want to deplete or get rid of any of these layers we've created because we want to keep our layers intact. We haven't built in a lot of file size, but we've kept good flexibility because all these layers are basically empty layers with a little bit of retouching on them. So at the very top, we're going to hit Command Option Shift E, which is going to merge everything up, and it's going to keep everything intact. If you don't add the Option key to that, it will flatten. So with this is going to be our inverted high pass. So here what we're going to do is we're going to go to our high pass filter. Now, knowing that we're going to invert this and we're going to put it in a blend mode. Typically, like a blend mode of either overlay, soft light, or hard light would work. So we'll put it in overlay. So you're going to see a change. So we're doing this for pre-visualization so we can see a better preview. So knowing that it's going to be in one of those blend modes, we make that change first. Go under Filter, Other, High Pass, and now we can see what is going to simulate good sharpening. Now normally this is going to be between 5 and 8 typically, and we'll hit OK, and then we want to just look at this a little bit closer because we're seeing that this has added a lot of sharpening. This is a sharpening method. But if we invert it by hitting Command I, it turns into a softening method. So we use that, and then we add our first layer mask. And under the layer mask, we can either invert the layer mask, making it all black, and paint in the areas that we want soft, or we can do it the exact opposite. I prefer, in this case, seeing that there's so much skin, we're going to do it the exact opposite way. And I'm going to use black as my foreground color, get a little bit smaller brush, and paint out that the softening effect where we don't want it. So around her eyes, inner lips, and to make sure, notice that I'm using 100% flow and 100% opacity, and I'm just hitting the areas that I know I want 100% use on. Now what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll drop my flow down back to my 50%, and I might bring my brush down to about 50%. And now I'm going to feather this mask in. Now I'm just masking. I'm just telling Photoshop where I don't want things sharp, or where I don't want things soft, I should say. So we're going to hit the contours of her nose so they stand out a little bit. We'll hit the edges of her lips. We'll hit her ears and her earrings. And we'll just kind of go along her jawline just to create a little bit of separation from this. And we'll try to hit the edges as well, and any contours here. Notice that I'm hitting the contours of her collarbone. And let's go down here. Let's make sure that we hit the dress entirely. And I want to make sure I'm doing the edges with the 50% brush because I don't want to get too close, and I'm just doubling up on the strokes that I'm taking for everything else. Now if we go up top, I can get a larger brush by hitting the bracket keys and maybe hit some of the edges and some of the hair. Some of the softening would actually look okay on the hair. Bring this back. But we want to maintain some detail in the hair. We want to also maintain some detail in this bracelet. So we want to bring some of that back. So we don't have a lot of softening in areas we don't want softening, but we're getting it where we need it. And this is what our mask is looking like so far. That's where we're holding it back. Now to get a mask looking, so you see like the Rubylith overlay, if you go over the return key and hit the / key, you can see this Rubylith view, which is basically going to show you what it looks like. And you can actually go in and finesse it a little bit more, so you can see kind of an overlay what the mask is looking like. So you can hit some of the areas that you want to hit. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to finish this up and tie this up, and then we'll move on to the next method.